2, 1. And we are back with Arissa being cross.
Right.
Okay.
As there be doormats right now, pretty much they're looking for this woman. I wasn't too keen and interested. I just find the whole thing's fascinating and interesting why a sorcerer got to a wizard's academy, but that was a bit of my end. Do you want to, since I brought up, any guys want to explain here at all? Anybody?
I don't really know what's going on.
No, Belgrad hasn't known what's going on for weeks. He knows that there's something about a vessel, but he's not been that.
I'm staring at Cass right now.
This is very silent.
Full disclosure, Belgrad is literally here for shits and grins. He doesn't have that much.
And kidnapping!
And basically Cass thinking she's not trusting this head boy to tell him what they're actually there for.
You will come to me. I know where you want to go.
Right, should we head for breakfast then?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Maybe you should actually think about what you're trying to do first, okay? Okay.
And
Yeah, Cypress is literally rubbing his snout going, oh, for fuck's sake, in his head.
He leads you out of the door. He uses his rune and gets you out. Kess, you step through gingerly and find yourself outside again. You head down and down and down and down and get yourselves onto one of the lower floors. You're on the first floor, and this has a huge dining chamber. It's got flags with the house sigils on them lining the walls. It's got the school crest at the top where the teacher's table is, and there are small gnomes running around bringing people food. You guys are invited.
A little bit teary-eyed.
Very good, a little bit. You guys.
Never know that you're my hero.
I'll bring over the guest table and food will be conjured for us in a moment.
The guest table appears, and it's attached onto the end of the Mazewick table. So you can still hear things that your house are chatting about and join in if you need to, but you can also keep an eye on the guests. It's like an extension bench table. You guys all sit down, and eventually what appears in front of you is a plate full of the food that you didn't realise you wanted, but actually, now that you look at it, you suddenly believe you've been craving this for a long time. It's like the perfect breakfast, individually tailored for each of you.
That's some interesting magic.
I love how both of you said you're looking for Mollyar, and neither of you spelt it right.
We tried.
Arissa, you have been craving the strangest things. On one side of your plate, you have a pile of... Arissa asked in chat what she's been craving, and the immediate response from our head boy was dick. Big old pile of So Arissa, you have the strangest plate in front of you. It's the biggest one. It's almost like it's the size of those huge fancy like feast plates, and one side has a pile of pancakes covered in syrup and strawberries. On the other side of it has scrambled egg on toast. You've also got like bacon rashers and strips in the middle, and you've also got a large pile of jelly beans and donuts.
That just looks disgusting.
Everything I ever wanted.
We all play the dicks.
Belgarath.
There are some gummy dicks on there.
Yeah, there's gummy dicks. Belgarath, you, because you asked, you have two things. You have mashed potato.
Oh, Jesus.
You have mashed potato, sausages, and gravy. And you also have a very cool and refreshing lemon sorbet. They're not on the same plate. The sorbet is in a little bowl.
Oh, that sounds very nice.
Arissa's a little bit.
I'm curious as well.
Okay.
Well, you got that message, yeah?
Ariel, you have a tiny, tiny plate. It's quite large for you, though, but it's quite tiny. And on it, you've got sweets and treats that you would have had back in the fairy realm. You've got tiny little, they're sort of sugared powder puff balls that when you taste them, they sort of melt on your tongue, a bit like really sugary Aero or Malteser balls. And you
How
also
did they get these?
magic.
You have always.
Cass, you have.
Says Arissa.
That's perfectly in character
Fucking
as well.
hell.
To whoever asked, yes, I got that message. If you're doing that using the spell message.
Yep.
Cass, you have a huge
no.
bowl of stew. It's full of like scraps of meat and vegetables and potatoes and a thick broth. It's similar to what you would have had back in the Whispering Marshes. It has an air of home about it, which is slightly saddening.
Guess he's not hungry anymore.
Aww. Yes, as Glenn has pointed out in chat, it's now known as the Whispering Crater.
Yeah, I think this wants to go and have a break in the bathroom.
Okay.
Meanwhile, she looks for Mollyar. Or whatever her name is.
Mollyar. Mollyar. Kes, are you going to get up and leave?
Yeah, so she's saying she needs to freshen up in the laboratories.
Okay.
I presume they are laboratories.
As you get to the doorway of the Great Hall, a group of gnomes runs up to you and says, "No, you can't leave, you can't leave! Headmaster speech! Headmaster speech! 5 minutes, 5 minutes!"
Also, you're not allowed to be away from me, you know? Still your guide.
Oh, well, it's to say he wants to take me to the bathroom.
Oh, why don't you all go on a trip together at some point? It can be a group tour.
But I need to go now.
Cypher's again, just hand on snout, sighing.
I'm going to roll insight on that. Toilet request. That's a 15 on the toilet request.
Okay. Cass, do a persuasion check.
Oh, is that?
Yeah,
Well, I would say you should get advantage on that simply due to what I said.
yeah, I'll take an advantage. Yeah, still 14.
Oh, shit. 14. Yeah, because I got 14 at deception. But because I rolled a really bad roll.
And his advantage was a 15, so he doesn't
Okay.
entirely
15.
believe you.
Yeah.
She's hard to read. She's hard to read, but you don't really believe her.
Yeah, I think for now, I think it'd be best if we just stay together. You know, I'm sure you wouldn't want to skip out on the headmaster's speech.
Right, whatever. Let's listen to the stupid head.
Oh, stupid headmaster! I can't wait to give this report.
But somebody will come back.
So you're just coming here once, then. For some reason, that makes me happy. Not quite sure why.
Yeah, Cypher's is going to be truck and drinking.
Before he skulls it. That's great.
Scoff it.
Skull it.
Yep, Neil has grabbed Cass's plate and quote-unquote sculled it. You guys sit, and any of you who want to eat can eat, any of you who don't. Arissa has somehow managed to eat the entirety of everything that was on her plate. Yes, indeed. Arissa, could you also please... That's how it works. Arissa, could you also please do me a Constitution save? This is for reasons that you are aware of, but this Arissa is not aware of.
I'm aware of, or
No, Arissa.
No,
Oh, that Tuesday Arissa is just a whole heap of mess.
Yeah. Tuesday
yes,
rest is fun.
Ariel, yes, you can save some candies from your plate. Yes, you may.
I will save like half of them and just eat what I need to sustain myself, and then the rest of them will go in my bag because fuck yeah, I finally got back my candy.
Not that 20.
Ooh, very good. Okay, Arissa, for a moment you feel a little queasy, but then you burp and it goes away.
Perfect.
Seems appropriate.
Why?
The headmaster, who has been absent during breakfast, appears in a swirl of feathers again and stands before the room. She's now wearing a long black raven feathered cloak and a more severe expression. I won't give you her whole speech because that'll take a long time, but she speaks for about 15-20 minutes. The students all listen in rapt attention, as do all the gnomes and the other faculty members. She speaks of growing dangers. She speaks of her communications with those who are skilled in the art of divination. And she speaks of having to work together and unite together and be prepared, and as always to share and hold on to the knowledge that you have, but share with others, and to remember that they can all survive or they can all be wiped out in a moment's notice, and that they must all band together against whatever may face them in the future. And then she vanishes again in a big swirl of feathers, and people start getting up from their tables. There's a clanking of plates as they all disappear. The gnomes start running around, picking up books and quills people have dropped and returning them to them. And your table disappears when you guys all stand up. It vanishes. And everyone is bustling off to their common rooms now to go do their house meetings.
She doesn't really walk anymore, does she?
No, she doesn't walk. The only time you saw her walk was when she was showing you around.
I motion to my assistant prefect.
He is not there.
Demanding.
I was assuming I've got like a secondary prefect or something.
You do, but he is not there.
Oh, bastard.
Which causes you some annoyance and concern, because he is almost as proud and stuff as you are. And
It's like a flex court or something.
Oh, 1 sec. Pass the cantrip message on him, and I will. I'll message you what I'm saying.
Okay. Meanwhile, Needles has shared a picture of his spirit animal in chat. It's large, pink, has a huge mouth, and is currently inhaling food.
And Kirby, saliva in the face.
Good.
Okay. The response you get back is not now, I'm afraid. I have to clear up some walk-torn mess. I'm standing in as their prefect this morning. Don't ask. There's a whole mess. Something about pigs and taking drugs and God knows what. I'm having to lead their house meeting because they're an incompetent bunch of morons.
I will respond to that with, yeah, that seems completely understandable. I'm sorry. Truly sorry.
And you get another message back that says, and their common room is disgusting.
What's new, right?
I know. What are you up to anyway? Why do you need me?
I'm doing I have to... by the way, so, I assume this is like mental message sending, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, he can do it too, so you're like, boof, boof, sending one, getting a reply. He's sending one, getting one reply.
a bunch of fucking morons when I'm in school who want to talk to Mollyar.
Oh, not again. Maybe they'll adopt her and think she's cute and take her home with them.
I do hope so. That would be an absolute fucking stellar turn of events.
I suggest we take a different tact. Really sell her up. Tell them she's amazing and cute, lovely around people. She'd make the best house guest. Just palm her off, and if you can get some gold for it, that would be ideal.
Perfect, good plan.
LOL, smiley face. Catch you later.
I'm glad that was a mind message.
Before you go, is anyone in third year not busy? I kind of need someone to take control of the meeting because I'm going to go.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure Vladimir Skinner can do it. He's probably still at breakfast.
Very well. Alright, catch you later, dude.
Have fun!
I'll try my best.
You just hear laughing and then the message hangs up.
Can I just be looking at his face when he just looks like he's staring into nothing? See his facial reactions? Just out of curiosity myself.
While he's having his mind conversation.
Yeah.
Sure. Needles, you can do a perception if you would like. And you, Bakirets, you can see Skinner, the other third year you know, down the end of the table, ushering the first years. Like, come on, common room, let's go, come on. Yes?
Really, just okay. I'm sure you're ready and prepared and would have that all figured out faster too.
Oh, are you touring?
Touring.
Joyous. Have you heard what happened to Have you heard what happened to our second? He's with the work-torn prefect.
Yeah. You incompetent.
Incompetent. Imbeciles. Right. To the house meeting. Come on! And he, like, shoves one of the first years in the back. Come on! And leads them all out.
Good luck, Skinner.
He just, like, waves his hand at you as he walks out of the room.
I think I actually know where to look for, perception check on that.
Say that again?
Seeing as I actually know where I can expect to look for her on the actual like tables and stuff, because I can know which house she's in and stuff. Can I do it?
You can do, yes.
Needles got a 16 on his.
Yeah, you got a 16, and Needles, you can't spot her at the moment. Cypher, you've got a 27 insight, but what are you trying to look at when you're studying his face?
Just, like, if he's going sound, I'm used to people when they do that, they're magical based. They might be doing something or mental communication, just to see what he's possibly, if he's annoyed, pissed off, happy, which I know he's not, but...
like a bit of frustration, but then like some quality bands is happening, so you know, whatever.
Yeah, he has the face of a pissed off man, but then some quality bants.
Yeah, I've got a 15 in perception, and if 16 doesn't do it, then...
Well, actually, you would do better, and you notice that she's not in the hall at all. Needles just can't spot her. There's a huge crowd of people. They're all moving around and getting up. You know exactly who to look for. Like, you annoyingly know every detail of her fucking face, and she's not there.
Right. So then, let's be off to the common room. Come on, let's go.
I'll walk alongside him, just kind of glance my eyes just down and going, you're enjoying it.
Who are you saying that to?
Take over, I guess.
I didn't catch that.
I was saying, basically just glancing down at you with his eyes, and just with a bit of a smirk on his face going, you're enjoying every single second of it, aren't you?
It's a leak on that.
He couldn't possibly comment.
Are we roughly at the Brown Common?
You will be, yes. You get up, you head through the corridors. You guys notice that anyone who's younger than a third year does move out the way for you instinctively, and all the third years either give him a wave, a nod, or a sort of side eye as they go past. It seems to depend on what house they're in. Anyone else in green immediately moves aside for him and gives him a nod. Anyone in yellow will move out the way, but doesn't seem to give him any sort of happy or sad greeting. Anyone in blue waves, doesn't seem to get much response, but waves nonetheless. And anyone in red moves out the way at the last possible moment. And Needles, yes, you can pocket a shit ton of food on your way out of the hall as the plates slowly disappear as people... It's sort of like a game of like grab it quick before the plates like the plates are disappearing as you're moving down the table, like they're coming up fast behind you, like poof, 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 disappear. Like no, grab the food.
So kind of like reverse walk.
Yes.
Open the door and get on the floor while everybody else walks the dinosaur.
So yes, you guys, you get taken down the stairs, and you guys are on one of the even lower floors. It's below the floor you came in on. You actually go past the stretch of wall, which is shimmering on this side as well, where you came in, and you head down a curving flight of stairs, and you're heading to a floor that is just below the ground floor, and there is again, a small-sized door with no handle, and it has a yellow stripe across it.
Is it maroon? Official head boy business.
The stripe on the door pulses with yellow poofs for a second, and then the door opens for you.
I'll walk in on the house meeting.
It seems that their house meeting is halfway through to nearly finished. They don't seem to be saying very much. There's a large crowd in the common room.
They say, "Don't mind me, Brownwins. Official head boy business. Keep on going as you are."
Oh, every single person in the room looks around at you, and you get like several expressions of annoyance, several curious expressions from first years who notice the group of people who've walked in, and the prefects who are stood at the front just sort of sigh. What is it, Valflammer?
Nothing. Carry on with your meeting as ordered. Official head boy business. I hope you understand.
Oh, and they look at the group of you. Oh, are you touring again? Could you not tour mid-house meeting? We have things to discuss, you know.
Unfortunately, official head boy business. You know how it is. Oh, no, sorry. No, I guess you wouldn't. So just carry on as you want.
The male prefect shoots you a proper dirty look. Like
shit on my face.
And he I'm just reading the chat thing. Arissa keeps stroking random things on the way to you and in the common room. You might accidentally stroke a student in this way. Yeah, she probably has done. And Arissa strokes one of the students as she walks into the common room. It's one of the first years who are sat at the back. And she just sort of looks up at you as you stroke her sort of mousy hair in bunches and looks up at you sort of, huh? Okay. And having heard this official head boy business, she sort of assumes that this is part of the head boy business and just sort of takes the stroke like, hey. If you want to stroke a prefect, Arissa... Sorry, Arissa, if you want to stroke a prefect, you're going to have to go up to the front of the room where they're stood doing their meeting.
Well, okay. Stroke a prefect.
Do it.
I mean, to be fair, the nearest prefect is, in fact, Björkarat's Valflammer, so...
Suddenly it goes quiet.
She's gonna look like prefect. The face.
The face of...
Which prefect would you like to stroke?
Closest one.
That's me.
That's you.
What part of the face? It's important.
It's important for reasons.
Hang on.
Don't hit his hot spot.
He has a fetish specifically for the nose and nothing else.
No.
Just kind of strokes down one side of his face.
Roughly close to the jawline around. Roughly close near to the jawline. It's like hot, like a hot stove.
Say it again.
You're on a fucking funeral.
Arissa strokes him again.
It's like, why?
What did you say?
Did you say that close to the jawline it gets really hot?
Yeah.
And she's just like, what? And strokes it again.
No, that's official head boy business, you know. Sometimes you have to just get stroked by random people. That's fine. For the job. I'm used to it.
When you've quite finished over there, shouts the male
Sorry,
prefect.
I don't have to interrupt. Deal with this, right? Okay, good.
As I
Arissa just comes over
say,
and says, sorry, did you want one too?
no, I'm fine. Thank
Are you
you.
sure?
If she wants to give you one, it is official head boy business.
Now he's just proper trying to embarrass him.
Okay. Cass, do a perception check if you're looking around for her specifically.
Yeah.
The prefects alter.
Anyway, back to the plot.
The prefects alter their manner of
Jesus Christ.
speech. And the prefects alter their manner of speech a little as you guys continue standing, staring, looking around, and moving and stroking things. So, as we were saying, what we were previously referring to. That which we were previously referring to is going to happen, and we will make sure of it, but we must make sure that none of us are implicated in it, and that it all goes according to plan. So, that which we were just speaking of is affirmative.
Affirmation.
Please encourage each other to do more and help each other in our campaign, but also be aware that we do not want to bear the brunt of it. Again, it is for us to enjoy, but not be noticed for. And they keep glancing at you like, oh, for goodness sake, we have to hide everything we're saying because you're here. And lastly, if you haven't made your bed already, we suggest you do so because the gnomes are getting sick of it. Also, whoever it is, we won't be naming names, whoever keeps leaving those fizzing balls in the common room, kindly clean up after yourself because they cause a hell of a mess on the carpet. And once again, the gnomes do not need to be tidying up after you. We have enough problems already. Thanks, guys. Get to your lessons. Go, go. And everyone in the room starts to get up, pack. A few people head upstairs to where their bedrooms are, and everyone sort of starts to move around the room. Needles almost understands them better. Now they're speaking weird with less long words, he says. Chaos with your 17. Yes, you do spot a pale red tiefling girl. She is sat in the very far corner of the common room in a chair that seems to have been pushed aside all by itself. She's at a table which has got several books piled on it, and she's currently writing in another.
Okay, right. Can I approach her?
You can do. It will take you a few minutes to get to get through the common room.
Yeah.
Out of character is being suggested. Needles, use sack, but not in character, so that's fine.
No, I'm terrified of what would happen if I actually suggest that in character.
Yeah, don't worry now.
You would have spotted her at this point as well, Mercurius. You have seen your favourite person in the whole school. And as the common room starts to clear, the rest of you notice where Kess is headed, and you see her as well.
So is it just Kess going there, or anyone else?
Is anyone else following Kess? You have seen her, you see where Kess is going, and you can see the girl too.
I'm still going to be standing back.
Yeah, well, I just went off lucky.
That's okay. The common room starts to clear as everyone's going to lessons. Kess has spotted Mollyar sat on her own at a table in the corner. She's got a pile of books with her and she's writing in another. You have spotted her too. Kess is heading over to her. So anyone else, do you want to follow Kess?
Needles is gone.
I'll respond to Arissa saying I'm going to accept the compliment anyway.
Rosie, as to where I am, I think you know where I am, right? I'm still in that same place.
Yep, that's fine.
I will walk over to Mollyar and say, darling, I have a bunch of guests who are speaking to you. Here they are. Enjoy. Step up one side, just watch.
Looks up from her writing really slowly. She finishes the sentence she's writing, looks up, closes the book with a snap. Oh, it's you. So the notes we have on Mollyar so far are she is a sorceress pretending to be a wizard or trying to multi-class. She's smart and he is jealous and he definitely is crushing hard on her. I will leave it up to you, Mercurius. That can be true or not. She looks up. Oh, hi, Anus Emerald. What?
Hi. Ruby of the absentee.
Aha, you make the same joke every day and it doesn't get any more funny.
And every single time you just go straight for the anus.
Well, isn't that what you do too?
Yeah, but I'm gentle about it, you see.
Oh, gentle but still up the arse, hey. I'll tell all the boys to watch out.
Well, do. When they're ready.
So, who are these lot? Why are you bringing them to me?
No idea. I know one of them's called Cypher. And past that, they're... Fine, you should go and talk to them.
Oh, you're off your form today, Anus. Usually you find out everything there is to know about everyone and then spread it around the school like wildfire. Why? Couldn't read them very well, could you?
Yes, I feel like it's obviously in my best interest to tell you everything that I'm thinking all the time. Obviously.
Obviously, you know, if I tried hard enough, I could read it anyway.
But that's a lot of effort, I don't think you're bothered enough.
No, I can't be bothered with the likes of you very often. So, why do they want an autograph or something like the last lot? That was tedious.
Cypher's just rolling his fucking eyes. Jesus.
I swear to God, I thought Cypher was just going to go, just bang already!
The thought honestly came across.
So she'll turn to the group. Hi. Obviously I'm Mollyar. What can I do for you? Why have you come here to see me?
I'm gonna nudge Cass a little bit closer going, oh, hurry.
She's looking at you, Cass.
Question.
Yeah, snaps my fingers in front of Cass's face.
No, I'm just trying to think of what to say.
Well, I don't mean to hurry you or anything, but I have my first class soon. I'm allowed to be late because I've done all the research for the next month ahead of time, but I would quite like to catch the end and the homework.
Right. I still can't pronounce her name. Rosie, what's this character's name? Mollyar or
Mollyar.
Mollyar. Okay, Mollyar. Well, Mollyar, are you enjoying yourself at this school, or do you feel like you could amount to a little bit more than just attending a school?
Well, I have been here for less than a year, and already I've progressed from my second year to my third. I feel if I try harder, I could certainly graduate before the rest of my class, and I could be out of here soon anyway. I don't wish...
Please do. Stay in the room and study all the time. Maybe you'll finally get out of here quickly.
Oh, yes. But of course,
go on,
knowing...
You can do it. I believe in you.
Knowing how much it annoys... Anus Emerald over here, means I will hold back on my studies and stay a little longer. Maybe all the way to the end of the year. Perhaps I'll do a master's and stay for another.
You do me a great service. I am oh so honoured by your noble and selfless sacrifice.
Oh, so you should be. I mean, your house doesn't exactly do anything noble or sacrificial.
Yeah, we are currently dealing with the mess-ups of half the houses in the bloody school.
Well, not
Try
mine.
to act right first.
Huh.
I'm interrupting your amazing meeting. Let you and your guests have your talk. I don't want to get too in the way, do I?
Oh, but aren't you always? She turns to you guys again, and her face softens. So, what is it I can do for you? You're not here to try and transfer me again, are you? I've had several offers from other schools, but quite frankly, I'm settled here, and I would like to pursue my studies without having to uproot again.
Right, but is studying all you want to do? Isn't there something more you could be?
Oh, no. Of course. Everyone wishes to amount to so much more, and my house has a great reputation for absolutely amazing things. His house claims to have all the best students, of course. In fact, most houses do, except probably Thistleforth. They're quite happy to come in fourth every year. But our house has a great aptitude for learning and retaining everything we need to know and putting it into practice in the real world. You may not see us coming, but we will do great things. I don't know what I intend to do yet. I haven't decided. I figured I'd just let fate point me in the right direction. Is that in character? A little bit.
Cypher's just going to mumble under his breath and say that sounds like regurgitated speech.
Loud enough for her to hear.
Probably.
Right. So if you're looking for fate to put you into the right direction, what if we suggested that there was something more for you out there, somewhere where you might be needed?
Somewhere where I might be needed?
Yeah, something that could change the course of this world if you decided to park. You could influence the balance of life itself and bring back prosperity to ravaged lands.
You have my interest. In what way would I be necessary for this?
Well, you've heard of Travis, right?
You mean the country that's right next to ours? Yes, I've heard of it.
At this point, Cypher's going to find a seat and just, like, try and relax.
Arissa will promptly start stroking him.
What? Who's stroking you?
Everyone.
Okay, not Cass. Cass would not accept a squishling stroking her.
Mollyar like sass. Baccarat allows himself one solitary smirk.
Okay. Right.
Ariel, yes, she makes eye contact with you, but doesn't give away your position to anyone else, but you are looked at full in the face by Mollyar.
Okay. And does the other one notice that I'm making a hammock?
No.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Right, so you know how Travis was ravaged by a horrible war and is currently quite destitute, right?
Of course.
Right, so our group is trying to bring prosperity back to Travis. But for us to succeed on that, we need the great magic user of this land, which is you. We have been given a divination. We have been given a prophecy about you that you could bring back balance to the land of Trevor if you help.
You have spoken to someone trained in the arts of divination. Truly. And she waves her wand at you, and she's basically casting a localized version of Zone of Truth on you, Cass. Can you do a charisma save?
Shit. Okay. Yes. Okay. So that's okay. Well, I'm just hoping for the best.
You got what? Sorry.
26. Charisma.
Okay. One sec. Let me just check through. Okay. It's not going to force you to tell the truth, but she can tell if you were lying in the last thing she asked you. And she believes you, because technically it is true. But you are not forced to tell the truth.
Okay.
She looks at you. You are telling me the truth. And she sounds surprised. And then she immediately looks impressed. And you have something about you that is strong. To be able to resist one of my spells almost entirely. I'm impressed.
Well, I have the blessings of a goddess.
You do? Which one? I myself am not particularly adherent to any deity, but anyone who blesses someone like you is of great interest to me.
Low-key shade.
What was that?
I want to bless someone like you is interesting to me. Low-key shade.
Maybe.
Cypher's literally, but like right when Kess starts saying that, he goes, "Oh."
Wait, what does Cypher do?
Can you type what you've said as well?
Right when Kess goes,
Well, the goddess's name is Irfel, and she was cruelly struck out of this land when Travis was devastated, and help is needed to bring her fully back, to bring peace and balance back to the lands of Travis.
Okay, 1 second. Alright. Irfel. That name has almost entirely been lost to history. You have a connection, a real one. And she's leaning in, like, towards you now. Across the table, across her, like... She's, like, got her arms across her notebook, but she's, like protecting her notebook, but she's interested. You truly and utterly have a connection with Irfel. How do you speak to her? How does one communicate with someone who has disappeared almost entirely from the records?
I don't speak to her directly, but there are agents for her who can carry her wishes.
Agents like who? It seems like she knows what she's talking about, and she's waiting for you to give her a wrong answer so she can call you on your bullshit.
Yeah, at this point now Cypher's going to turn his head down and look at Cass with interest.
So go on. Go on.
Would a name matter to you? It's someone who has been lost to people. A name would probably not make a difference.
A name would help. I've heard of a few. A description might help also.
Well, if you know so much, what did you think of this? And Cass will bring out chain that she has from Sajara.
Awesome. She will almost immediately go to take hold of it, but stop herself because she's looking, like, peering at it closely. And she'll stop herself, and with the greatest pain in the world, she will say, "May I look at this closer?"
Can I roll insight on her?
Yes, you may.
Tess is a little bit. Just a little bit.
It's my book!
No, it's the chains. It's the chains. She didn't bring out the book yet. The book is something else. You don't know what the book. Oh, okay. Okay, so that's a 15 on insight. Fortunately, I don't have very good.
That's okay. It looks as if she immediately is interested. She doesn't want to steal it from you, but she wants to look at it closer. But she has forced herself to be polite and ask your permission to touch it.
Okay, Cass will let her touch.
Okay. She sort of holds it. She keeps it around your neck. She's not going to take it off you. And she peers at it really closely. And she turns it over and has a look at the back. And then she looks even closer at the front. She raises her wand and hovers over it and whispers something that you can't quite catch. And her hand sort of glows a little. And she sort of takes her wand away in surprise. All right. And she hands it back to you. So you are definitely telling me the truth. I am 100% interested. But if I'm going to leave this school before my studies are complete, I'm afraid you're going to need to do something for me.
Well, anything, darling, anything.
Oh, shut up. Are you still here?
Sorry.
You two, Jesus.
Background there.
Everybody roll insight.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
Oh, wow.
I actually noticed something.
Yeah, Cass is like, I'm not paying attention.
Guess it's
What?
Okay.
Nat 20.
So, Ariel, Belgarath, Enna, Needles, Cypher, and Orissa all notice that when Cypher says, "Oh, just bang already," or "Have you two," but what was it you said?
Have you two banged yet?
The two of them share the briefest of side-eye looks, and then they both look almost even more furious.
They've already banned. Just
So we have a mission to complete for the sake of the school. Let's focus on
Oh, you just can't wait for me to leave, can you? You know what? Fine. You can help me because you will hate every second of what I want them to do.
accuse me of such malicious and roguish intentions. I am offended, madam, offended.
That's not the only thing you've ever been. Well, I need your help. There is something I want to do before I leave this school, but I never intended to do it before I left. However, if I'm going to leave early, I may as well do it now. And what you're proposing sounds absolutely delightful.
Please tell me you say that out loud.
Yeah, of course. Otherwise, I would have mentioned that it was out of game.
Sorry, I have to read this from Errol, could you please read what you said in the chat?
Yeah, of course. Was she that bad that he wants to get rid of her that desperately?
Cast Fireball.
I will warn you that the pixie Ariel is currently in a hammock made of Arissa's hair.
On Arissa's head, yeah.
Regardless, I can't.
I'll like almost cast Fireball and then just kind of like stop. So you can see like fire starting to like flow around the hand, and it's like.
I'll just laugh.
Right, in any case, Mollyar is destined for much greater things than just this school. But it's okay to be jealous of her.
Did you hear that, glittering emerald anus? I'm destined for greater things than you.
Yeah, okay.
So, because we're getting late, I will end your session on what she tells you she needs your help with.
Oh yes, yeah.
So, because we need to let people who don't live in the UK go to sleep. She says,
Thanks.
Before I leave, I was planning to set free a creature that this school keeps in captivity. They use it for practicing magical arts and letting the first years get up to snuff on their, well, everything. And I am sick of seeing it suffer. Unfortunately, it's well guarded and looked after and protected, but help me break into the dungeons, help me release the poor creature out of captivity, and I will go with you and forego my studies. And never see you again. And she looks right at you, Makiratz.
That would be horrible. Oh dear.
Oh, I would miss you terribly too, darling.
I can imagine it. Are we as a group leaving the room?
Well, that depends. You guys, would you like to... In fact, would you guys like to end session there and have a week to decide whether you'd like to take her up on her offer or not?
Well, I think so.
Yeah.
Cass already decided, but the rest of it.
Cass has made the decision. We go.
There's a few questions that I would like to ask, but that makes it that it lasts longer, so probably
That's
next.
okay. Well,
session.
if you write down any questions that you have, either in this chat or personally, then we will pick up with those next session. So everyone shout goodbye to the recording.
What's
Need to do it.
Bye.
Wait, what's